So now that we've talked about copywriting, we've talked about the important elements of a landing page and what to put in it and all the different elements of an effective landing page. None of that will be effective if you don't understand the design principles behind taking all of that stuff and making it come together and making it effective. So if you talk about the rule of threes, what is the rule of three? This was one that I recently discovered that's really interesting, and it's kind of almost conspiracy theory-ish. It's really interesting. And what is the rule of three? Well, 3 is the smallest number required to make a pattern. There lies its power. In many forms, the rule of 3 at heart utilizes simple 3-element patterns to communicate complex ideas effectively. This pattern works because it is short, memorable, and powerful. So what are some examples of the rule of 3? This was amazing. A lot of the most powerful slogans in the world are using the rule of 3. Just do it. I'm loving it. Diamonds are forever. Finger licking good. My favorite one, snap, crackle, and pop. I didn't realize that until I put them all together. The master of the rule of threes, and I read in an article that Steve Jobs, that's all he did. In a lot of his presentations, they were all formed around this rule of 3. So this is when he was talking about the iPad. It's between, and visually he talks about it's between the phone and the laptop. It sits right in the middle. So that's 3 elements. He is describing this concept using the rule of 3. Also, when he talked about 16, 32, and 64, this is the different levels of the iPad, which I thought was really interesting that he divided it up into 3. Now, like I said before, it's a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, but that's okay. You can see that Steve Jobs, one of the most amazing presenters, always used this rule. This was also interesting in Hollywood and in plays and theater. There's a 3-act plot structure. Act 1, the setup. Act 2, confrontation. Act 3, resolution. Very interesting that they're using this to convey a storyline. This was also interesting. And the reason why we're going through all this is when you describe what your product or service does, if you can do it in 3s, they're going to remember a lot of those things, and that's what you want them to do. So if you look at Homeland Security, can you imagine how many times they have to tell people to do this? And so they do it in 3s. Show ID, take out the liquids, take off your shoes. And so after you do it a while, you understand those are the 3 things that you really need to do, and you need to hurry up because everybody gets mad. So how does this work in a landing page environment? If you look down at the bottom, 3 reasons to love Lander. More conversions, test and optimize, and reach any device. Those are 3 main benefits. They talk about 3 reasons to love Lander. It's very obvious that they're using the rule of 3. So you can see here, share and discover the best of the web. So they have blog tools, browser tools, and analytics. And so those are divided up into 3. It's very easy to consume that and to understand it and remember it. Here's another one. Why choose tinfoil down at the bottom? Recurring, affordable, and a proven record. Those are 3 main things that they want you to remember. Here's another thing. It's not as obvious, but if you look at protect your money, those are 3 bullet points that they put right underneath the headline. So that's also another effective way to use the rule of 3s, that you can put it right under your headline, 3 of the main things that you want them to take away from your landing page. This is another one. Direct mentorship, social learning, and lifetime access. Those are obviously the 3 things that they want to portray the most, that are most important for the viewer to take away. Here's another example. A lot of these use the same design here. You can see what is Bottlenose Pro, try bottlenose search. The headlines there are a little bit vague, but you can see it's divided up into 3. Let's apply the rule of 3s.